once again. Do 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 do. I know this is like a record number of resets within the past like couple of weeks at least, I want to say. Everything but one ride? What's the one ride that you don't want to do, Biggie Cheese? It is getting a little hot in here, I gotta say. You know, it is the summer, and most places around where I live do not have air conditioning because it's warm like this for 2 months out of the year. So, you know, it's just a little bit uncomfortable during the summer months, but aside from that, you really don't need air conditioning, and it does save a lot of money on utilities. Yo, nice 420 military. That's awesome. Sounds like a good stream to me, man. Sounds like it was a good time as well. It's called Sky Screamer. Is it a drop ride? One where you like go up really high and you just fall? Because I'm definitely not a fan of free fall rides, and I don't particularly enjoy them. So like I usually don't go on those. You could, but we just moved in basically last month. So in the middle of summer, it's really hard to get a portable AC unit. It's really hard to get a portable AC unit in the area. Oh, that is really bad. Yes! Alright, we fixed it. It's a huge swing ride. Ooh, swings look cool though. Like swing rides I'm more okay with. It's the free fall I don't really like as much, but the like if you're falling and moving forward like on a big roller coaster or on a swing ride, it's actually really cool. Yo, Malls, thank you for the host, by the way. I do appreciate it. Alright, well, we saved it. That could have been bad, but we saved it. It's kind of weird. Like, if there's something about the free fall that I just don't really like as much. It makes me feel really uncomfortable. But, like, a roller coaster, like, yeah, it's scary, but it's fine. Like, you're going really fast, like, forward, and that's awesome. Like, I love that. It's just, like, I guess just the free fall, like, just going straight down is, I'm not a huge fan of. Six Flags Great America has a Batman ride, but I don't know if it's the Batman ride that you're referring to. I don't actually know where the closest theme park is. Around here. I might have to go to California, honestly, to go to a sweet theme park. The Batman's really cool. Like, you kind of like it's like a lay down coaster, and basically you basically end up soaring around like the environment like Batman, and it's very neat. Tower of Terror in Disneyland. Yeah, I did go on the Tower of Terror when I was a kid, and my parents and I went to Disney World. That one was okay because like there was much more to it than the drop. Like, you got taken up and you kind of went through this haunted house experience, and then you had the drop, and it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't really super tall or anything, but and it really wasn't super tall or anything, so I definitely really enjoyed that experience as well. Superman was there's a Superman at Six Flags America that's really good. That's definitely one of the bigger coasters at Great America in particular. All right, sounds good, Ramatron. Take it easy, buddy. Hope you have a good one. They got stuck upside down for 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, we got stuck at Universal Studios. We got stuck on a earthquake ride where basically like you went through and you reenacted like an earthquake basically, and like the subway cars were doing this. And like there was fire, you know, off to the side, and like it was pretty cool. And we got stuck with the cart, unfortunately stuck sideways like this. So all of us who were in that, it's a big bench seat, so like you're not strapped in or anything. You're basically just sitting there, and we all just kind of slid against each other off to the side of the cart. And And we were just stuck there. We were all like smushed up against each other because we couldn't hold ourselves up. It was really funny. But yeah, I couldn't imagine being stuck upside down. That would be a nightmare. You're so glad you're not at New Jersey? See, the thing is, like, Six Flags Great Adventure has like big rides. Like, that's your Cedar Point type Six Flags as far as I'm aware. Oh, I see, Ravener. Oh, come on. Come on, that villager was not playing around right there. He's like, look, you gotta get out of my town. All right, sounds good. IR Josh, take it easy, and thanks for stopping by. I do hope to see you tomorrow as well. That need the Kingdom Ka. Yeah, Kingda Ka is the name of it, not Kingdom Ka. We're close. Real Crash Bandicoot, what's up, dude? And come on, come on. That's a little much with the rubbins there. But that's the thing, like, I really want to experience that. Like, that and Top Fuel Dragster at Cedar Point, which used to be the biggest roller coaster. And it's pretty similar to the way Kingda Ka is constructed. It's actually the other way around, because Top Fuel used to be there all the time. The problem is that Top Fuel has really long lines at Cedar Point, and it's like, there's a lot of maintenance that needs to get done on that ride. So, like, it's pretty hard, even when you're at Cedar Point, to actually do it, you know. Yo, Cam, thanks for the 5 bits, man. Bad time to take a drink of water. I do appreciate it. Kind of jumped the gun there. We weren't at that part in the song yet. My bad drink pauses. I had like one where I would drink coffee at a bad time. I think aside from that, I think this was my second one. Which is one more than there, which is two more than there should be. But definitely has not been that bad. Why don't you just get the boulder to go first? Trust me, I insist that the boulder goes first, but he just doesn't listen. He always insists me harder. He just insists me harder. Remember those bars that go down on your shoulders? Yeah, what about it? It doesn't have those. Sometimes you don't need it, you know? Like, roller coasters are engineered to be safe. Like, that's the thing. Like, roller coasters are engineered to be safe. And that's what you think about. Like, if you ever get really scared about a roller coaster, like, nothing's gonna happen, you know? This has been engineered, you know, through and through to be very safe. Very huge drop straight down. That's awesome though. Like, once you're in the middle of it and you get through it, like, and you get through the drop that's straight down, you're just like, all of a sudden you're going so fast, like, far forward, like, the anticipation's over. Like, what makes rides scary is the anticipation. Like, they make you really think about it, you know, before you actually go down. And then you get this kind of huge sense of relief afterwards, and that's what really makes the experience. So, you know, it's supposed to be that way. The boulder is very gentle, but you can't let it get too close to you. Still can't do that. Probably could have made it. That's alright, though. I mean, that's the thing, though. That's the thing though, Raffy Boy, is there's always a very small chance that something could go wrong, but you can't, you know, there's always a very small chance that something could go wrong, but is it really going to? You know, probably not. You gotta live a little as well. Did they replace it with crash test dummies or crash test dummies, Ravener? Two very different things. do 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 digga digga do do. I mean, I started exactly from the same place that you did, 420 Military. I started with, you know, no viewers, no followers, like no nothing. And, you know, I think that overall it's just because, like, I've continued to find streaming really fun. And, like, the most important thing about streaming and about Twitch is that it's fun. Like, it's something that you do, it's something that, like, you know, you're playing some of your favorite video games and you're hanging out with cool people, and, you know, like, keep it, and if you're having fun, like, everybody else is going to have fun too. And, you know, the more people that are having fun in your channel, like, the more that's going to attract other people who want to have fun to come into your channel. And, you know, it snowballs. And it definitely is a, you know, it definitely takes time to grow a channel, and, you know, nothing comes immediately or for free, but it's fun, and I really enjoy the process of streaming, period. You know, and everything else has just kind of fallen into place. So, you know, definitely stay patient, and, you know, the more you enjoy streaming and the more you naturally just want to keep streaming, you know, you'll continue to build a community. So, you know, be consistent, be patient, and have fun. That's really the most important thing, I believe. On your fourth stream, wait, what do you mean, Mr. Tomo? I'm a little bit confused by what you mean. Yeah, basically, like, you know, people will be able to tell if you're having fun or not. And there are going to be some off days for sure. So definitely don't beat yourself up if you have an off day, or, like, if you're feeling kind of in your head, or if you're just not, like, feeling yourself. He had 2,000 viewers with Pokemon Snap. Holy shit. That's pretty cool, Mr. Tomo. Definitely not a game I would expect to see with 2K viewers. But that's awesome. That is very awesome indeed. And yeah, definitely don't play games or don't do things just for the sake of like viewers, followers, subs. Like, it's gonna show. You know, that, like, at the end of the day, like, do what's fun for you. You know, fun is what matters, and fun is what's going to make everything come together when it comes to streaming. Yo, Clubmaster, how's it going? Whoa, I almost died. That was a little scary. Guy just randomly chose to raid you. Sometimes that happens. Like, I definitely know some streamers who, they sometimes will raid, you know, like, their friends or teammates and stuff, but sometimes they'll just raid a random stream that they have no idea who that person is. And sometimes you get lucky as well. Yo, thank you for the host, by the way, Mr. Tomo. I appreciate it, man. All right, can we get first try Hog Wild? That's the question. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Dude, it's all good, Mr. Tomo. It's the thought that counts, in all honesty. Yo, Guardian, thank you for the host as well. I appreciate it. I did enjoy watching Dragon Ball Z back in the Cartoon Network days, but that was, of course, a very different time, and I only really watched the Frieza saga. There's so much more to Dragon Ball than just Frieza saga. So, like, it definitely, I definitely am not I wouldn't consider myself, like, a Dragon Ball watcher. My girlfriend loves Dragon Ball. She's really into, Like, she's really into Dragon Ball, and she's watching Dragon Ball Super pretty religiously right now. One of these days, it would be interesting to get caught up on Dragon Ball, but I'm like so far behind, and there's so many episodes that I feel like I'm a little bit scared to actually do that. Hey, 4 for 4 with the hog jumps, though. It's all good, Malls. You can definitely still make it work, though. And congratulations on a full-time job, though. That's definitely awesome. Do I need to adjust the imbus screws on the top end or the regular screws on the back? If your bass is in tune, Godsonic, then you should probably do the screws on the back. If your bass is out of tune, then definitely retune it. That'd be the screws on the far end. No, I totally understand, Gucci Yandra. And what's up, by the way? For me, like, I had an empty chat too. I think that's something that is pretty hard for a lot of people who stream to, you know, it's pretty hard for a lot of people who stream to handle, you know, because sometimes your chat is just not always going to be super active. And, you know, the more viewers you have, the less, you know, the less this becomes a problem. But even so, like, there are some streamers I've seen who have like hundreds of viewers and can sometimes have a chat that's very slow and it's not super active. And it doesn't have to do with them being as a broadcaster. It's just sometimes streams are quieter than others. But really, like, when you're speedrunning, for instance, Gucci Andra, I'm not sure what kind of content you normally stream, but for speedrunning, and what worked for me was doing commentary. You know, just commentate on the game, like commentate on the kind of strats that you're doing, or what kind of, you know, if something happens, like say like, oh, this is what happened, I'm gonna lose, you know, I'm gonna gain or lose X amount of time. Pretend you're at Games Done Quick, or pretend you have 1,000 viewers. You know, like, just do that. It sounds really weird, you know, but it works. Like, you suddenly starts all coming together, and you know, everybody starts out streaming before they have a community talking to themselves. And, you know, I think it's okay to talk to yourself, you know, whether you have a lot of viewers or you have none. I think that's definitely something that will help you get started. And that's how, and you can make it fun and enjoyable. It might get a conversation started, you know, if viewers do come in your channel. One Piece currently at 743. There's like 900 episodes, isn't there, of One Piece? Strings are still in tune. Yeah, I would release the screws on the back. Like, I would release the screws on the back in that case. Yeah, you can also do that too. Like, start reading dialogue, or, you know, you could make it like, you can make it kind of over the top. Like, I've seen some streamers who do commentary for their casual games, and they like really get into it. Like, they become actors, which is really cool. What's going on, Fracazo, excuse me. Is it Fracazo Davoletri? I'm sorry. Sorry having so much trouble, but what's up, by the way? How you doing? How to make Crash faster? Crash 1 is kind of interesting because there's a lot of running and jumping that goes on, but at the same time, there are definitely ways that you can make Crash move a little faster with some nice little tricks. Spinning when you land, if you can think about it, is really nice, and being able to break boxes efficiently is also something that's pretty difficult to do. It's something that also still saves a lot of time, and being able to know exactly what the limits of your jump are. You know, to be able to save those frames, basically. Oh yeah, I've done that before, Magatoth. Don't worry, we have all been there. And yeah, no problem, Gucci Andra. I'm happy to help. Oh, I need that token. I mean, sometimes that's gonna happen, Guardian. Sometimes you do everything right, you know, on a stream, and you think, and you're definitely like, you know, and it feels like you're doing everything right, and sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out. Sometimes, you know, somebody will leave the channel, and not everybody is going to like the channel. You know, I know that everybody, you know, out of all the people who have come into this channel, there are some people who are not big fans of me. You know, they don't like my personality, or they don't like the game that I play, you know, and that's fine. Like, you don't really care about that as much. What you really care about are the people that, you know, do like you and support you and keep coming back. And, you know, and that you're still having fun with it. You know, that's really what matters at the end of the day. And it's okay, you know. It's okay it's okay if not everybody likes you, because that's true of every streamer. You know, even the biggest streamers on Twitch, not everybody likes them. And they know that, and that's totally fine. So definitely don't take it personally. It doesn't have to do with you not being awesome. It's, you know, it doesn't have to do with you not being awesome. It's really just personal preference at the end of the day. I know it sounds kind of like anti-advice, where it's like, hey, not everybody's gonna like you, and it's like, you know, like, I totally understand that it can sound really strange, but, you know, it's true. It's true across, you know, many things in life, not just streaming in general. Not everybody's gonna like you, and that's totally fine. Like, that's just the world, and that's just how it works. Yo, I like you too, Alfred. I appreciate it, man. I like what we got going on here. Yeah, basically just take it in stride, Guardian. That's really what it comes down to. You know, just take those things in stride sometimes. Just took off the 7-4. Uh-oh, Godsonic. That seems like an expensive mistake. That seems a little expensive. Haters gonna hate. They will. Exactly, Ravener. Yo, I appreciate it, Fairy Shuttle. I do that does mean a lot. I really do. What's going wrong? Well, I messed up like early on in the run. I messed up early on in the run, and that's basically what happened there. Yo, I do appreciate it, Divine Rain. I'm definitely of the school of thought where, like, you know, if you have lemons, you can make lemonade or you can be sour about it. And I prefer to make lemonade. You know, there's definitely positivity and negativity in life, and, you know, and that's fine. Like, there's gonna be good and bad no matter what happens. And I think that's what really gives me the freedom to see things the way that I do. How do I deal with hate? Honestly, like that person is not hating you. It's coming from within them. So if somebody comes in and they're like, oh, you fucking suck, you should kill yourself. Like, that's really a reflection of them more than you. You just happen to be the person that they found to do that to. Like, very rarely is somebody going to go out of their way to hurt you personally. They're just going to go into whoever's stream is available, and basically try to mess with them. So understanding that it's not personal, and that understanding that it's not personal, and that person is just within them as a person. Doesn't have to do with you. Really helps a lot. You know, it really helps a lot to shrug it off. Yo, what's going on, Salty Bet and Crunchy Cap'n? How you doing? Yeah, sometimes you can have a very serious hater that can really wants to do some harm, but that's usually pretty rare, you know. And you take steps to protect yourself against those kind of people, you know, to make it as hard as possible. Make it as hard as possible for them to actually hurt you, you know. Yeah, Bucket is the one true Bae, after all, so he kind of gets priority for the time being. Nah, I'm just kidding. You guys always have a day with me. Just me and you guys. How do you get it? That bouncy box that you saw me jump on just beforehand, there's a hidden exclamation box that's up top. So you have to jump, you have to hold jump when you do the first bounce off of the bouncy crate, and then you can activate the exclamation box, which will make that previously outlined box appear, so you can grab the Rio token. Nah, man, you've always been the one true bae. We discussed this. We've discussed this, bruh. No funny business here. What's going on, Shackle? How are you doing? I mean, it has a crate counter, but at the same time, like, the game is definitely still harder. The physics make your jumps a lot tougher. You have much less wiggle room. You're not currently doing? I'll take that as a good thing. I'll take that as you're relaxed. Wait, what was weird for me to say, Guardian Psycho, just so I'm on the same page? Yes. Yeah, for the color gems, that is true, Psychex. For the clear gems, you don't have to. You can just go right back in afterwards. Making good time? Welcome back, Rada, by the way. We are coming back from a deficit. Like, we had a bad thing happen earlier on, but we're definitely making a comeback, and there's definitely still quite a bit of time to save throughout the rest of the run. I was gonna read the whole message and then I like interrupted myself. No, a bucket is a bucket. It was neither male nor female, of course. Oh, when I demonstrated the insult? Oh, that was very weird for me to say, because I never would. You know, that's just not me. Spin strats when? Later, Ravener. I know that's definitely something I wanna try to get down. But that is something I have not learned yet. Whoa, okay. I want to make sure I pick up the green gem there. Yo, welcome back. See you later. Just finished Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Nice. How did it go? Toronto Blue Jays are down 10-7 with the bases loaded. Wow, that's awesome. See you later. Talk about an emotional victory. I definitely agreed, Shackle. It is never the answer. Honestly, like if you feel like somebody's following you around, Gucci Andra, then I would definitely report them for ban evasion. That is something that Twitch takes very seriously, and they will definitely, you know, they can IP ban the person so that they won't be able to follow you around again. It only took you 2 hours to finish the final boss. Dude, we've all had those boss battles, Jordan. We certainly have had those. The same batter too? Dude, that guy's coming in clutch. See you later. That guy is definitely coming in clutch, it sounds like. And yo, Mackie bro, what's going on, man? How you doing? Hey girl, hey. Salty's gonna salt. There you go. Exactly. So yeah, definitely, like, if you feel like somebody is making alternate accounts just to get under your skin, report them for ban evasion, and let Twitch take care of the rest. Most people are not that savvy though, Jordan, or they won't put in the effort to really get around that type of thing. there are some people who will, but most people won't. So it ends up working out still. Yeah, of course, Gucci Andra, and that's good to hear, Mackie bro. Can you be a secondary bae? I don't know. We gotta ask Pez for permission. She's the primary bae. Buck is the one true bae, but Pez is the primary bae. She's gotta buy off on all bae promotions. Usually, the more casual games and game modes, people get much more upset at losing. I guess the reason why is because, you know, pros have a different mindset compared to more casual gamers, because like they understand like the process of getting good at a video game, and that being bad or having trouble, like being bad or having trouble with games or bad things happening is part of the process. Like that's really part of the process, and speedrunning is no exception. You know, everybody's bad before they get good, and I think that's really something that a lot of pros and a lot of people who play video games competitively a lot understand, and that sometimes people who don't play games as seriously, you know, they can short out, you know, or they can feel like, you know, they can get frustrated because, you know, they just don't know that. And I definitely don't blame them for that. Like, that's the thing. Like, I definitely don't blame them for that, because sometimes, like, you know, it's normal to feel frustrated, and it's definitely not to say that pros don't get frustrated, because they do, you know. And I think that, you know, it's just the casual player doesn't come across that as often. You know, they're not constantly doing that every day, and they're not in the habit of that way of thinking, and that's fine. You know, definitely not everybody's about it, and it's not really suited for everybody either. You know, different people have different limits and handle things differently. Yeah, exactly. See you later. You can definitely psych yourself out too, for that matter. I want a crying chicken. That emote is adorable. That is a Bakba soup emote. I believe. Yeah, that's a Bakba soup emote. Yeah, it is what it is, Knackle Shackle. People enjoy video games, you know, whatever way they want to enjoy them. Sometimes it can be frustrating or can be hard to manage emotions, you know, when it comes to video games. So it's all good. It's all good though. Yo, SSJ mate, how you doing? Bum ba ba bum 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 ba da 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 dum. Ba da bum bum. Is that cute? It does look really cool actually. I do kind of like that emote. I don't know who it's from though. It doesn't look like a Bakba emote, because I think all of his are the chickens. Now that emote is fantastic, Bucket, that you got there. But yeah, Sonic, I do like that emote too, for that matter. It did, SSJ. The Insane Trilogy came out last month, and it's amazing. Highly recommended if you've got $40 to spare and a PS4. I was gonna say, because it looked kind of similar, but yet it wasn't, Sonic, when it came to the Bakba emote. Yeah, it is what it is, Shackle. You know, that will happen sometimes, for sure. But yeah, $40 is amazing value for 3 awesome games, and it's one of the best values you can get, honestly, just in gaming. Totally not biased whatsoever as a Crash speedrunner, but I would say it's still great value, even if you're not a Crash fanatic like myself. Yo, nice, see you later. It definitely seems like Toronto's getting good. Splitting is hard. Your brother is getting a PS4, so you might buy it. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely give it a shot. If you do end up buying it. For sure, Shackle, for sure. Yo, Terry Chaos, how's it going? Bought a PS4 and the Insane Trilogy. That's cool. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun with it. And that's good that you're you kind of defeated the learning curve of the high road, because that level is definitely tough for sure. That level is no joke, and I know I lost, I think, like 40 lives or something on that level before I actually got past it. I was also trying to 100% it, so it's possible I may not have lost as many after that, but it's still hard, and that's really impressive. This room is in followers only mode. My room is not. Not that I'm aware of. But yeah, some bigger streamers do have the rooms in follower mode, and that makes sense. It keeps chat readable at like really, really high view counts. Hey, if you did it once, you can do it again though, Terry Chaos. What's up, Reese OG? How are you doing? Trying to get all the gems, dude. Rip. That's okay though. It's a pretty fast death recovery. The lab is tough. The lab is also tough as a platinum relic as well. It's probably a bug, Shackle. I would like refresh your browser or refresh something, and you should be good to go. Some very big streamers have it so only subs can talk in chat. I think sometimes streamers will have chat displayed with everybody talking, but they might only look at sub chat as well. For very high view counts, like I can definitely see why streamers do that. Definitely not appropriate for somebody like me, but for other streamers with like thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers, like. Either you don't read any messages and let chat run wild, or you have to do those kind of things to filter and be able to still interact with chat. But yeah, sub-only mode is definitely still nice to turn on just in case there is a problem, you know? Like, just in case like there is a problem, something happens, like you can always throw on sub mode only to calm things down. What's up, Azrael Scythe? How are you doing? They did that a little while ago, and I already checked when they rolled that out and turned it off. So I think that happened like months ago. I'm pretty sure. So I don't think that's a problem currently. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, definitely see you later. With the constant, you know, consumer, you know, I guess the average like game buyer nowadays wants something that feels real, something that feels realistic and kind of grabs them. And I can definitely see how like the line between video games and movies can sometimes be blurred, because I can definitely see how that would be blurred just because of yo, hang on. Okay, there we go. I can definitely see how that line would get blurred sometimes. Just because, you know, the realistic experience does make it a bit more cinematic, in a way. I'm gonna sneak back here. Eventually. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know, like you can definitely moderate a chat you can moderate a chat, and like it depends on the streamer. Like some streamers just don't care, like they just don't really care, and that's fine. Like I definitely don't, you know, you definitely have your, you know, bigger streamers that just, you know, let chat run wild, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think if you really want a good chat experience, you can have a good chat experience up to a really high number of viewers. Like Carnage's chat, for example, is really readable, and he frequently gets 10,000 plus viewers. King Gothalion is the same way. Like he has several thousand viewers at a time, and his chat is very readable. You know, it really depends on, you know, how the channel is moderated and the personality of the streamer, and really how much effort they want to put into, you know, into keeping the chat, you know, keeping the chat a certain way, you know, however they want it. Yeah, I personally don't care that much either, Shackle. But that's just, you know, I think the average Joe is what we're talking about here, not necessarily the gaming enthusiast. The gaming enthusiast a lot of times is going to have a very different perspective from the average Joe. And there's a lot more average Joes out there than enthusiasts. You know, especially as video games become more mainstream and they become more popular, you're going to have that overlap a lot more than it used to be back in the 80s and 90s, where the only people that played video games were the people that played video games. You know, I think that's something very important to point out, you know, how the times have changed in the gaming industry. Yeah, exactly. See you later. Like, sometimes realism is awesome. Sometimes realism is, you know, sometimes realism is unnecessary. You know, kind of everything in between. If you see me reaching down every now and then, it's because I've got a very scaredy cat right next to me that I'm trying to help feel a little bit more comfortable while a lot of moving around is going on. Do you need boxes from the bonus level to get the gem? Yes. Yes, you do. And that is a very big difference between Crash 1 Insane Trilogy gems and the original trilogy. All we need is Kingdom Hearts. Dude, that's all anybody needs, really. I have not played the games personally, but they do get talked about a lot in this channel. They will, Cosmic Kitten. They definitely will. They're just, you know, they're definitely uncomfortable with all the noise and, like, random stuff that's going on in the house. But that'll cease. Am I able to show you guys a cat? I don't know if he will let me, because this is the cat that doesn't like being picked up as much. But we'll see. I kind of don't also want to traumatize him, because I think the last thing he wants is to get picked up. So, I don't know. I'm not feeling entirely comfortable with it at this point. He keeps throwing the thing of coal, like, very close to where the carts are, like, passing in front of him, so I never feel comfortable with going for the fast strat. Yeah, if only, Bucket. If only. See, there I feel comfortable. Oh, rip. Dang, that card clucked me there for a second. All it needed was a second. Of course. There we go. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately we hit a cart on the very last hit, but that's okay. This boss fight is really rocking you. Come on. I'm not gonna lie, I am a fan of a good dad joke, though, in all honesty. Finally got the green gem in Lost City. Nice, Magatoth. Congrats, buddy. Call of Duty and FIFA. Yeah, Call of Duty was I played it from Call of Duty 2 all the way through Black Ops 1. And then after that I kind of started to get tired of it. FIFA, I've never really been into like soccer or football, depending on which country you come from. Oh geez. So personally, I never really got into the FIFA games either. Yo, thanks, Dolly. That was really the one face that I could use to express what happened there. All right, so yeah, if you spin first and then jump, you'll still be able to make the jump and kill the cameras. If you try to jump and then spin, it's gonna be tough. Can I go down here? Yeah, there you go. Save a little bit of time here. Oh, oops. Hang on. How am I with my time tonight? I do have a lot of stuff on my plate today. There's probably going to be a lot of unpacking and general stuff going on. So my time tonight is going to be very limited. It's possible that, like, I'll have to see what happens and see if I'll have some time Monday. But we're looking at maybe Tuesday, Wednesday as to when I'll actually have time to sit down and discuss, like, blind race and other things. Call of Duty is fun. Like Call of Duty I had fun with back in the day. It started to get more formulaic and less fun over time, but Call of Duty definitely was a good time back in the day, and I did really enjoy it. If you're really into the sport shackle, then, like, it makes sense to have the most updated one, because it's going to have the most updated rosters. You know, I think that's really what sells it, is the rosters. I mean, hackers are going to be a thing. I mean, in Counter-Strike, that was a thing, too. Like, back in CS Source, you know, that would happen sometimes as well. It just happens sometimes. And it definitely sucks. Like, it definitely sucks when that happens. But, you know, the best they can do is just try to squash it as best they can. You know, the companies can only do so much at once. No, not yet. That's what we're trying to coordinate soon, though, Malls. Hey, let's go. Gun game CS 1.6 in Source. Oh yeah, like gun game is fun. Like gun game is one of my favorite like casual game modes in Counter-Strike. I remember the first time I won a gun game. I was ecstatic when that happened. But yeah, Madden kind of has the same thing, Terry Chaos, where like the game mechanics don't change that much. They just kind of update the rosters. Oh, that's not good, Ultra Stars, but hopefully you don't have any connection issues anymore. It kind of seems like it if you're here after all. But yeah, definitely hope that gets settled for you. Yo, where was I going there? I just kind of went like way over there. Yeah, the pros are all knifing each other to level steal. That's true. I was never very good with the knife in Counter-Strike. That was definitely like a big weakness in my game. Yeah, the fact that they made gun game in official mode is really cool in CS:GO for sure. Come on. You can do this. You can do this, buddy. Hey, sometimes you do get lucky, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, after all. I have the reflexes of a sloth. It's okay, though. I do too, for that matter, and I still got pretty decent at Counter-Strike back when I played a lot. So, I feel you there. What's happening, Magnum, as well? How are you doing? Yeah, I do like Arms Race as a name, for the new gun game. Like, it definitely still gets the point across, for sure. A race on all gems? Dude, we could definitely make that happen one day, Ultra Stars. We could do like a big all gems race. I think that would be kind of fun. Do like a 10-man all gems race across all skill levels. I'd be down for that. Yeah, deathmatch is definitely more fun for the average player, Neil, because you can get right back into the action. But, you know, it definitely sucks when you get killed early. It definitely sucks when you get killed early, like in a game, and you just kind of sit there and don't really do anything. First, second, or third game? This is the first one, SSJ. Do I play zombie? I played a little bit of zombie in Black Ops 1, but aside from that, I'm not really a huge zombie guy. I mean, everybody needs a break, I suppose, Shackle. Yeah, sometimes people do carry the team. I remember watching a CSGO video once about a pro match who he basically was the last guy on his team, and all his teammates got killed. There were still 5 team members, and he just carried the team on his back like a champ. It was crazy. But yeah, I tried playing a little bit of CSGO when I first got my rig, and it was okay. Like, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was just kind of out of it. Like, I stopped playing Counter-Strike a little while ago, and tried playing it again, and it didn't really have the same kind of magic, honestly. It really is SSJ. Like, it is the most improved game by a mile when it comes to, you know, comparing the original Crash games with the Insane Trilogy. But it can be frustrating too, especially if you're like carrying and you're on a roll and then all of a sudden you just die. You know, that feels bad. But yeah, definitely everybody needs their breaks. Excuse me, Psycho. Yeah, you definitely need to really take it seriously, Terry. Yeah, CTR, Bash, and Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Time Splitters 2 is a multiplayer game I love to play as well. There's definitely some other ones too that I can't really think of at the moment. But later on, when my brain is more fresh, absolutely. Oh, hello. There we go. But Time Splitters is definitely one of my favorite shooters. Can't forget, you know, GoldenEye, Mario Kart. There's some good stuff out there, man. There's some good local multiplayer games too. All right, that was a little slow, but we got through it. But Time Splitters 2 was awesome because I believe the team that made the multiplayer for the game was the same team that did GoldenEye. So you could tell. You could definitely tell in places. Do I think this game will be run next year at AGDQ? I would hope so. I would hope so. I don't know exactly how. Like, I think the 90% full trilogy race, like relay race, would be really awesome. You know, we could do Crash 1 all gems. We could do, you know, any of the other 100% categories. Like, there's a lot of different categories that you could do with the Insane Trilogy. We'll see what happens. I definitely hope it gets in some way, shape, or form. Well, let's not go calling communities cancer, Shackle. That's a bit far. But, you know, every community has its good and bad sides, and sometimes the bad sides can be loud and rear their ugly heads. Sometimes that's really what it comes down to. Found the perfect capture card. Which one? Ultra Stars. Definitely, the Insane Trilogy SSJ is a good way to change that. These games are awesome. I think if you never played a Crash game before, I think you would still really enjoy the Insane Trilogy. It is difficult, and patience is absolutely a virtue, but it is awesome. I've had a ton of fun with it. I mean, that's fair, Shackle. Like, there's games that are definitely more moderated than others, but, you know, at the same time, like, I think promoting an environment where, like, people respect each other, and, you know, trying to create an environment where it's comfy for people to come play the game is important. So I don't mind the fact that, like, I don't really mind that as much. If they moderate the community such that, like, if somebody gets hurt, that somebody would get punished. Should they get banned for life? I don't know. I don't really think so. at least on their first offense. But, you know, I think that, you know, if somebody's going out of their way to make somebody feel bad, then, you know, that should not be, then that should not be allowed. Well, that's the thing, is like that, like, basically, like, tolerating that kind of action is exactly what enables it, Shackle. So like, by not tolerating that kind of action, you know, you basically disable it, for that matter. You could say it's my gem. Oh no. The dad jokes are back. I'd be happy to discuss this topic with you more in private, Shackle, but I'd like to move on from this in the general chat. But yeah, that definitely ain't right. Cosmic Kitten. I think the character you choose is the character you choose. You know, I definitely think that something's got to be done to really screen and see, you know, who really should be banned, you know. There's a VR experience that went with it last year. They removed it. The VR experience, I think, would actually make me sick. And that's... I don't know for sure, but I feel like that would just make me sick. And I'm personally nervous about a VR experience on a roller coaster. The Live Gamer Extreme? Oh, I've heard that card is pretty good. That's the LGX AverMedia card. I've heard that one's pretty good. This level is the scariest one. It is kind of intimidating, especially the old one. Expondo with the resub! Dude. Thanks for hitting that sub button, man. What does this button do? What does this button do? It gives you my undying love and gratitude. That's what it does. Thank you, man, for the resub. I do appreciate it. To think it's already been a month. I know, like, it's kind of crazy that we're already starting to get into the territory of resubs. You know, since I got the sub button. It's pretty amazing. What was that? The sound chirped? That's weird. It's happened, like, occasionally. That's happened occasionally, but never consistently, and only some people hear it. So I'm not really sure what that is. Still do not have a resub button. Like, it's not telling you to resub. Because it might be that, like, you keep your sub for, like, 30 days after you originally sub. Happens rarely on pretty much every stream. Oh, it's on Twitch's end. Okay, well, unfortunately, I can't do much about it, but I'm glad that there is nothing wrong with my setup. That was something that I'm worried about. It is kind of interesting, Bucket. Maybe if you try refreshing your browser, it could be a bug, as a matter of fact. Because it still shows that you're subbed to the channel, regardless. Oh, hello. Hey, I've got mask though. This is nice. Yeah, okay. So basically, it's just got to be Twitch cooperating. That's what it comes down to. Getting the gem, can you still die in the bonus level? You can. Bonuses do not count as deaths, so you can die in the bonuses all you want, and it's not a big deal. You can't die in the main level. Yo, Ultra Stars, thanks for the bit, man. I appreciate it. I will definitely continue to try hard, my friend. What's up, G-Thrall? How are you doing? Any tips for the Lab Platinum Relic? If you're not already doing this, definitely figure out how you can skip the electricity cycles. There's a certain angle which you can approach them to where you can run right through them, and knowing those will help a lot. How much is a bit worth? A bit is worth 1 penny when given to a streamer. So 100 bits is $1, 1,000 bits is $10, so on and so forth. Can you skip the middle turtle? I don't think so. Like, you probably could go up on the ropes, but I personally don't do that. I have to watch the record and see what happens there. Unfortunately, there I got a little wishy-washy with my last jump and clipped the edge and slid off. This game, although it's a hard game, Gucci Andra, it is actually a very approachable game. Like, you can just hop onto the team and do an any percent run. Like, there's not really many like crazy glitches you got to know. There's definitely not a super steep learning curve from a planning standpoint. It's definitely a very approachable game to speedrun. But it is difficult. Like, it is a difficult platformer, and patience does matter. So it's difficult in the sense that it's a hard game, but it's not difficult to get into speedrunning the game. You can just walk on and do a speedrun and have it go pretty decent. And that's one of the things I really like about Crash 1 in particular. Okay, so this is... Okay, so we're going to save a little bit of time here. Yeah, easy to learn, difficult to master. I would say that's true across all Crash Bandicoot games. It's easy to learn and pick up a run, but it's hard to master. Absolutely. All right, slippery climb. Let's do this. Well, that's the thing, is like, it's independent of goals, Shackle. It's really truly independent of goals. You know, we're just talking about getting started. We worry about later, you know, after your first time, whether you like it or not. Anyone here played and liked Twinsanity? That does not include me. That does not include me, unfortunately. Dude, they have a good sense of humor with this game, SSJ. Like Naughty Dog did, and Vicarious Visions has kind of kept up the same treatment, for that matter. That was a little ballsy, but thankfully ended up working out just fine. What's up, Roshoku? How are you doing? But the cutscenes are like one of the more important parts of the game, Terry Chaos. Have I played Wrath of Cortex? I have, and I like it. It's definitely not as good of a game as the it's definitely not as good of a game as the original Naughty Dog games, but it's fun. It's fun, and it's got its own charm to it. Yeah, you gotta sit there and wait for Alex to stop talking to you in Half-Life 2. That's true. What's up, Mr. Green Thumb? How you doing? And don't worry about it, Sidekex. Definitely just come back to it tomorrow. Glad you're doing well, Roshoku. By the way. And yeah, no worries. I got you. One day I might say it wrong, but today is not one of those days. Yeah, Crash Team Racing is very okay hand sign emoji. Or as the kids say, it's lit fam 100. I would probably say the same malls just for my own preference. Though I think that the Twinsanity, Crash of the Titans, and so on are like solid games. They're just not. They're not really the same as the original games though. And that can definitely put some people off. Whoa, okay. That's one way to do it. That is absolutely one way to do it. And bingo. Easy money. Do 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 do. Isn't this a level that was too difficult to be included? No, that's Stormy Ascent. That'll happen later on. That is the very last split in the run. Yo, what's happening, whatever this is? How you doing? They didn't call it Dark Souls when the game came out for nothing. But yeah, the game is pretty tough. It's definitely got a steep learning curve. Once you get past that learning curve, it's a lot easier and it goes smoother. Excuse me. But it definitely does have a steep learning curve for sure. Approaching the max life count, and we're almost halfway through the run. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, definitely, Malls, definitely. Can you jump from the block on the platform? Yes, you can, as a matter of fact. In League of Legends, yeah, that definitely does happen, Ryan Org. And what's up, by the way? How you doing? We won't go into it any further than that. Yeah, we just don't need to go there. Oh, I was way off from what the song was doing. I tried. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Mr. Green Thumb. Hopefully everything is Gucci now. I mean, yeah, it definitely sucks that that happens, but I don't want to go into that any further. Why is Aku that color? Because he is your guiding light, Roshoku. He guides you throughout the level. I'm not sure when a new Crash game may or may not come, Divine Rain, but we can see what happens. We can definitely see what happens maybe after another remaster or two. I think it's more likely that they'll go through a Spyro remaster or maybe a CTR remaster first before they would take a risk with a new game. Mobile Twitch for now? Okay. Yeah, hopefully your computer can get back up and running soon. That's definitely no fun. I've had my fair share of tech issues as well. What's going on, Kid Duke, as well? How are you doing? The short answer is very carefully. But talking to chat is my favorite part about streaming, and you know, ever since I started streaming, I've always placed a priority on, on managing, multitasking and talking to chat and playing video games. And over the time, I've just gotten a lot better at it. The more that I've streamed, and like for instance, I have chat like right next to my eyes, so if I'm reading chat, I can actually use my peripheral vision to kind of see where I'm going in a game at a point that's like not too difficult or not too input intensive. Sometimes I have to just focus, but other times when I don't have to as much, I can just kind of use my peripheral vision to help me, and it allows me to basically do everything, which is awesome. Alright, sounds good, Bucket. Take it easy, man. Hope you have a good one. Everything's an opinion until you strike a nerve, and then it's right or wrong. Exactly, Shackle. If chat counts as content, it does. It's part of it. I say like content is overall like what you're doing, and chat is a part of it. Exactly, Shackle. You're a content creator. There you go. Crash 2, those dang eels. Oh yeah, you gotta be patient sometimes with those cycles, for sure. Skylanders is Spyro, and yet at the same time it's not. At the same time it's not. Yo, thank you, Gamer Try Dying. I definitely don't have this good at multitasking and everything, but with streaming, definitely do. No copy pasta, Shackle. That's not what we do in this chat. That is not allowed here. I must caution you before you're about to do that. It is very possible. See you later. Indeed. What's up, Viking? Yes. Oh, jeez. In a word, yes, you should get this game. If you've got a PS4 and $40 to spare, this is really good value, honestly. As long as I can finish a run, Shackle. As long as I can finish a run, then absolutely. Oh, I just jumped too early. That's rough. That's annoying. It's annoying because I made that exact same mistake before. I just, like, didn't even think about it, in all honesty. Oh, we've already got the icon, so we actually could have just spun right there. Oh yeah, I still love the original Crash Bandicoot games. There definitely is no replacement for them. They do, like, the original Crash games and the Insane Trilogy definitely stand alone from one another. Absolutely. There we go. Hopefully the diagnosis is swift and decisive. I know sometimes, like, diagnoses can be really hard with computers, but hopefully it's straightforward. Without a supporting chat, I mean, definitely, like, the community is what's most important, Malls, and, you know, I'm definitely very lucky to have a community like you guys. You know, you guys really do make it a lot of fun for me, and, you know, it would not be possible to do what I do without you guys. Absolutely true. Yeah, like, really, it's a good, they did a really good balance, Ultra Stars. They did a really good balance with, like, making the game look and feel new, but also feel very familiar at the same time. That's definitely a hard balance to strike. I think they did really well. I think they did really well because of that. It's dust. Not the dust again. Completely invisible platforms? I mean, there's a hint. Oh, okay, so I gotta wait. There's a hint to it. Like, there's definitely a hint with the Wumpa fruit that's just kind of chilling out in space. So, there definitely are some indications that you should do that, but it is not entirely obvious. Same thing in Temple Ruins, where there's floating Wumpa fruit kind of out in space, but it really does take a Indiana Jones leap of faith to go for it. It happens though, like especially because, like, those cycles can be a little tricky. Like, they're a little bit more dynamic, I think, in the Insane Trilogy than they are in the original. All right, Castle Machinery, let's do this. There were harder PS1 games, especially Superman 64. I'm just kidding, of course, but I mean, there definitely were harder games, but it depends on what you find more challenging. Like, some people find platforming really easy, other people find FPS is impossible, and so on and so forth. Crash 2 secrets were harder. What's up, Crazy? Yeah, they were pretty clever. They were pretty clever with the secrets in Crash 2, I gotta say. I really like what they did there. I'm not as big of a fan of the secrets in Crash 3, although they did try. But the Crash 2 secrets were awesome. Do I play with the D-pad or the joystick? I play with the D-pad in 2D parts and the joystick, or the analog stick rather, in 3D parts. Depends on how much room I have to move around. Because turning is a little bit faster with the analog stick, but it doesn't make sense to use the analog stick on levels like this where there's not a whole lot of room to move around, because you basically just run a risk of running off the map. We don't talk about Superman 64. Oh, but we do, though. We do right now, at least. Oh, it's shut down for safety. I got you. What's going on, Electrofiend? I would disagree with that. Like, there's definitely some shortfalls, like with the physics, especially with the jet skis. But I think it's great. I think it's really awesome. If anything, I would say that Crash 2 is like my least favorite, but I don't think it's bad. Like, I don't think any of the games in the Insane Trilogy are bad, for that matter. Oh no! Oh, rip. Damn, that hurts. So yeah, I was trying to do the swag strats, and that would have been fine if I didn't break an extra box at the end. So we'll just do this. There we go. The one problem with the swag strat failing is that now I've got to go through the end of the level without a mask. And we can do it, but it's a little bit scary. You got 20 crystals in Crash 2? Nice, Charizard. Well on your way to completion, man. There we go. Am I going to speedrunning Crash 2 and 3? I already do, as a matter of fact. I've done Crash 2 and 3 any % categories, as well as full trilogy any % speedrun, which involves all 3 games back to back to back. So I already do, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Crash 2 is definitely awesome. That was the game that I got connected to as a child when it came to the original 3 Crash games. So that's the one that's kind of always had my heart of the original trilogy. Though I do like all 3 in their own way. Swag plus strat equals SWAT. There you go. We're making a more efficient language as we speak with Peter. The alien sign leads to Hot Cocoa and not Area 51. I guess it's kind of foreshadowing to Area 51 being unlocked later, but it is kind of weird if you think about it. That's because the 420 names are already taken. See you later. Sounds good, Reese. Thanks for hanging out today. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the good luck. I hope you have a good one. Sweet. Just want to make sure Brio didn't do something silly. Perfect. Cooking vegetables instead of boiling them in water, just add a little water and cook them like that for more crunchiness. Oil and seasoning does help out a lot too, Shackle. Definitely are many ways to cook a vegetable, for sure. But only some of them taste good. And yo, thank you for the bits, Ultra Stars. I do appreciate it, man. There we go. Alright, so we didn't die in Embryo, which is awesome. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes we do die in this boss battle. All right, the lab. This was the level that killed the last run. Hopefully it does not kill this one. as we are doing pretty well so far. Indeed, indeed. Why is Brio a bad guy in Crash Bash when he was a good guy in Crash 2? We talked about this earlier, and there's a theory that Crash Bash took place before the original trilogy did. So Brio was a bad guy, and the end of Crash Bash where Uka Uka gets imprisoned is thought that's one of the reasons why we think that the what's it called? Why people think that the timeline is beforehand. So I think that's because it's before Embryo went rogue. That's what, and that makes sense to me, as a matter of fact. All right, we didn't miss a Tana icon this time. There you go. Brio is also pretty crazy. He doesn't really align himself too much to one particular side, for that matter. He just kind of does what he wants to do. Do 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 do. Bum ba da da ba bum. Do 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 do. Probably could have went through there, but I didn't want to risk it. Last time I risked it for the biscuit, it worked out very badly for me. So we're not going to do that this time, but this one pretty well. No deaths in the bonus, no deaths in the regular level. That's about as good as you can expect. A nice little best egg here too. Gold split? Indeed. Indeed it was Pandemic. Or the Kappa Pride split, as Xbondo corrects us. There we go. Isn't Embryo the creator of Crash? Not really. Crash was already a thing. I think before that all even started. Before the Cortex Vortex really started. I mean, that's fair, Electrofin. Like, I totally understand, and everybody has their preferences, for sure. Like, some people really like the variety in Crash 3, where you have all the vehicles and all the extra cool stuff you can do, and then some people really don't like it. Some people really prefer it to be a pure platformer. That totally makes sense. The Vortex Cortex. The Cortex Vortex is the is like his machine that he was going to use to like basically make these, perform experiments on these animals and try to make them into super animals, and then it backfires on him. So that's what happens in the original cutscene of this game. Any hard locks or potential ways to drastically fault the game? Not at this point. I haven't had any issues where the game just straight up crashed on me or, soft locked me to where I couldn't proceed any further. But it might only be a matter of time before that gets figured out. And somebody else may have encountered one too, and I've just been lucky. It might be that might be what came out of like later games. Green Thumb. I'm definitely not as versed with the lore in with the lore in like the later Crash games, like after Twin Sanity, for example. The Cortex Vortex is a spaceship. Yeah, that's something I don't understand. Was that the Cortex Vortex was the thing that that he was basically lifting Crash into when at the beginning of this game. But at the same time, It's also a spaceship, which is really weird. It is very weird indeed. Video game logic, yay! Back, had to walk your fish? Yo, welcome back, Sonic. Hopefully your fish walk went well. And yo, new one, what's happening, man? Glad you're doing well. Definitely have few complaints on my end as well. I definitely gotta say, it's been a good day. Alright, awesome. Did not get hit by those axes. In Crash 2, how do we jump the big leap in the bonus level? Which bonus level are we referring to? "100% explore IRL." IRL saving and loading could be a problem. Very good point. Any of them, how do I jump better? If you're asking about the glitch high jump, then the glitch high jump is... Oh, God. Help. 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 Oh, okay. That's okay. We got the checkpoint. So that's what matters. The glitch high jump works where after a jump, particularly after a slide, you can... Particularly after a slide, you can... you do a jump, and then you do a spin immediately after the jump, and then you can do... That's the glitch high jump, which allows you to get your maximum height and maximum distance beyond what you're normally supposed to be able to jump. Alright, sounds good, Ultra Stars. Thanks for the, excuse me. Hope you have a good night, man. I was gonna say thanks for the good night, and I realized that would sound kind of weird. Few complaints is good indeed, new one. And what's up, Casafir? How you doing? Except that it has Oxide as a villain at the end. CTR could be a prequel as well, for that matter. It's entirely possible, I suppose. Yeah, I think the games go like out of order in the story sequence. Green Thumb, and that's what would make the most sense to me. Yeah, no problem, Psyche or Psychex. All right, let's go. At the end of Crash Bash, that's when Uka Uka gets imprisoned, I'm pretty sure. So that's I think where it comes from, Expondo. Yo, Seabarn, how are you doing? Would I like to have a CTR remake? Absolutely, with online multiplayer as well. That would be a dream right there. Activision could already be thinking about it. We never know, but definitely, if they're not thinking about it, listen here. We want CTR with online multiplayer. No. Oh wow, that was close. I got hit a lot there. The run's going pretty good so far, Final Fantasy. That can change, but so far so good. With the same physics like the first? Ideally, you would have good physics. I don't know if you want it to be exactly the same. Because then it wouldn't feel any different from the original, so why play it? But good physics for sure. Nah, I wouldn't get that deep, Shackle. I know why you're saying it, but I don't think it would go that deep. That seems a little much. They need to have local multiplayer as well. Oh yeah, like local multiplayer is a given. Xbondo. Did not mean to exclude that, but yeah, online multiplayer would be sick. A speedrun to 99 lives? Now that would be a category right there. That would be a category is right there. I'm actually a little bit impressed too. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to be able to pronounce your name properly at first, but that's good. I'm glad we got it. You would love a recreation of Mario 64. It would be kind of neat. Though I don't think that game is likely to get remade. I don't think Nintendo really wants to do that sort of thing. Not at this point, at least. Local multiplayer is not a given in today's market. I think they would for CTR because the original game had it. Like, I really think they would because the original game did. Don't know if I was supposed to be able to skip past that cycle that way, but it worked, so I'm not going to complain. Sending Temmie to Kool Egg? I have no idea what that means. Think Crash 3 has the best? I would say that Crash 3 is probably the best too, honestly. I would say that it's probably the best as well. All right, back to Jungle Rollers we go. And yeah, we didn't get juked by any of the cycles in Whole Hog either. Do 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 bum 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 ba da ba bum bum. It's all good, Dark Rose. I understand, and thank you for the good luck, dude. I hope you have an awesome day as well, and thanks again for hanging out. Can we PB by 20 minutes again? Probably not 20. Probably not 20. Maybe like 6 or 7. You know, something like that. But that would be, even that would be huge. Like even 6 or 7 minutes does really make a big difference. Timelines are tough to manage, Green Thumb, especially as people, you know, some of the people who originally made the stories like leave companies or the game switch companies that get made, and then they have to try to figure out like how this person did it, you know. Like it gets really hard to keep all that straight unless you have the same team working on it like forever and ever. Yo, thanks, Poonage, or should I say Pat Chris, for the hot tips there. Oh, I thought I jumped on that. Is sub 2 with loads possible? Yes, my summit best currently is a 158 with definitely more room to go down. I actually do Crash 2 and 3 speedruns as well. I do each of their individual any percent categories as well as full trilogy any percent runs, which is all 3 games back to back. So yes, I do speedrun all 3 games. This is the only one I've done 100% style run with so far. Paranormal experience as a kid seems so common. You're like, whoa, wait, this is not paranormal anymore. It's actually kind of normal. It's almost like anticlimactic when you think about it. I'm not sure who you're referring to with Barry Allen Expondo. I'm kind of lost. Someone will have to clean up afterwards. It could get messy, indeed. Now, I know what you mean, though, Sonic. Like, something so specific you think would only happen to you. Oh. Oh, rip. Okay, so I was not paying attention and meant to press right first before I started pressing X, and I just kept pressing X. Barry Allen is the Flash. Oh, I didn't know that. You can tell how behind I am on superhero movies. How late am I streaming? This will probably be my last run. So wherever it ends up is where we'll end up stopping for the day. So probably another like half hour to 40 minutes, depending on how the finish goes. Do you do a full 3 game but completing all 3? Not at this point. It's pretty hard to do all 3 games to maximum completion percentage, which is 312%. And that would be very long and very challenging. At this point, I don't really have the experience for it. No, you don't, Seabairn. You only need all gems for 100%. But yeah, the relics are for 105%. Is the maximum completion percentage right now because of Stormy Ascent adding 3 extra %, 2 for the gem and 1 extra for the relic. I don't know if I could even finish it in 12 hours, Expondo. That might not even be possible. What's happening, Smiling Indian as well, and what's up? Uh-oh. Yeah, we gotta do this. What's up, Praninarada? How are you doing? Praninarada. I think that's the correct way to pronounce it. Not sure, though. I do apologize if I got it wrong. But what's up? How you doing? It's all good, Jacko. I understand. Do hope you have a good one regardless. No, that doesn't sound like my idea of fun, so I think we're all good on that, Shackle. Won't be missing much. Will not be missing much that way. Do 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 do. Is that a sneak peek of your other 2 emotes, Poonage, by the way? Yo, Lennon, what's up, man? Thanks for the good luck. How's it going? Yeah, it's close. It's more closer to a Sprashfecta, I would say, than the full-blown 602. But it would be very long. Definitely in the double-digit hours range at this point. What games are you thinking about running, Lennon? I'm glad you're feeling all right, too, by the way. I don't know, cause she probably could just cause she's a babe, Shackle. I don't know. He just wants to get under Crash's skin for he just wants to get under Crash's skin for his disobedience. Back to Wrath of Cortex and then probably Crash to 102. Fair enough. 102 is a pretty interesting category, and I think it's probably the most popular of the 100% categories at this point for the Insane Trilogy. But yeah, I'll definitely play it by ear, for sure. I'll be on the lookout. Tiny Tiger, in Crash 1? Or, sorry, Crash 2 or 3? Spiral. He's very interested in messing with the door. Come here. Let me see if I can distract you for a little bit. Come here. There you go. That's a good boy. What draws me to this category as opposed to 102 or 104? All Gems is very approachable. Like All Gems has like a lot of the fun of a 100% category, but without some of the monotony of like the time trials. And I'm not sure I like the time trials enough in like Crash 1 and 2 to be able to really want to do a run with the time trials in them. More so Crash 1 than 2. I'd like to try Crash 2 102 as well. And I'm more of a fan of that category than Crash 105, where you basically bring all the relics into play. It'd be more popular in Crash 2 and 3. I think, like, there are some runs of Crash 2 100%, like, which is basically old school hundo, get all the gems. But some of the cool things that you could do in Crash 2 that really make the run awesome are not available. Like, Cold Hard Crash is much harder, for example, without the use of box dupe. So, like, there's definitely some things that kind of turn me off of that, whereas, like, there's nothing really, like, too crazy. There's nothing really too, like, frustrating about Crash 1 Hundo, except the fact that it's Crash 1, and you can't die during some of the gems. You know, it's very, like... So that's kind of one of the reasons why I like it more, is because... Not necessarily because it's easier, but because it's, like... It's a little bit more forgiving, and it's more... it's easy to dive right in, too. Cold Hard Crash is definitely a monster nowadays, for sure. Good thing you don't auto-die to those guys anymore. That is an improvement I definitely enjoyed seeing. That's fine. Rolling Stones actually not getting third mass form is good. It's actually very good for me. Because that way I don't screw up and basically blow up all of the boxes around the Brio token again, like I did last time. There is a lot of time to save in just this split alone. I guess that's true for like a lot of platformers where like patience is a virtue, but at the same time like you're trying to go fast in speedruns. So there's always that conflict between wanting to, you know, be patient and get through the levels, but also go fast, you know. Yo, thanks for the pro tip, man, Poonage. I appreciate it. The pro strat. Don't screw it up. Also, you can't forget the Brio token up here as well, which I did do earlier. As a matter of fact. It happens to the best of us. What can I say? There we go. And we're gonna blow up the boxes so we don't have to do some silly backtracking. Just be tiny on Crash 2? Nice. Nice, Psychex. You're working your way on up. I definitely prefer the tiny boss fight in Insane Trilogy Crash 2 compared to the first one, compared to the original. Now it doesn't matter. We can just go ham with third mass form. For like 2 seconds until we get to the bonus, of course. Oh, that could have worked. See, that could have worked, but yeah, I bonked off the bottom of one of them. What is Warp 4 like? Difficult. Warp 4 is difficult, Psychex, so definitely be patient with that. There we go. That could have worked if it worked. Exactly, Expondo. Sometimes it works 100% of the time. Yo, Bill, what's happening, man? The ending credit scene is long-winded for the like Insane Trilogy. It kind of is. Oh man, that sucks. That's I died to a skunk. But you can skip it. If you press triangle, you can skip the cutscene, so it's not a big deal. That is a very good tip, Shackle. Very relevant. Very relevant to my interests currently. I'm glad you're doing all right, though, Bill. Hanging out with friends yesterday and today. That's definitely something something really good for everybody. I know I enjoyed hanging out with some of the dance game crew that I don't get to see very often. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. At a tournament. It was really awesome. And it's definitely a good thing to do. Alright, so unfortunately that death was kind of lame. The death in the bonus and afterwards, but we're still saving a lot of time. How did Brio get there? I don't think... Did Brio fall out of a window? I know Crash did, but I don't know if Brio fell out of a window. Oh, duh. After his boss fight. I totally forgot about that. Disregard. Disregard. I think my native fortress was pretty strong last time. Might be tough to beat this. Oh, were there fighter jets flying over top again, God Sonic, or what happened there? He fell out of a Mac. Oh, come on. I pressed spin, you saw him spin, and bounced right off the top of that monkey. Unbelievable. 0 out of 10. Never playing again. Don't like that. I spun at the wrong time. Oh, jeez. That's okay though, because we got a checkpoint right here, so it's not a big deal. Have I heard of Native Fortress Skip? I know of the original Native Fortress Skip, but probably not the one that you're referring to. Oh, jeez. What's up, baby Nady? How are you doing? Poon is indeed a mod here. One of my very first, as a matter of fact. How's it going? It's pretty much the OG skip. Ah, interesting. So, I guess you only end up getting as far as you would in the OG game, which helps here, but maybe not as much elsewhere. It's been a long time, Poonage. It really has. You jump on the corner of the ending platform to skip the colored gem ride. Wait, do you have a video of this? It might be much easier for me if I just take a look at a video, for that matter. Fire is hot. Spiky things are bad. You should avoid them. Pro viewers. Or pro tips, I should say. You guys are all professionals, of course. I'm gonna take a mask just for insurance sake. Well, welcome, baby Nady. I take it you're not used to watching Crash Bandicoot content, but this is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is a Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is a ground-up remake of the original 3 Crash Bandicoot games that came out in the mid to late 90s, and it's awesome. It's $40 for all 3 games on a PS4, and it is incredible. Totally not biased at all as a Crash Bandicoot fan. But yeah, I've been speedrunning the games basically since they came out, and it's been awesome. I've definitely really enjoyed doing speedruns of these games, and it's definitely been a good time. What's up, Craigle Bagel, by the way? Oh, it was you're talking about the Great Gate skip. I am familiar with it. I don't know how to do it at this point, but I am familiar with that skip, and that skip will definitely save a lot of time. Apparently, it's easier to execute than the original like hard Great Gate skip in the old game, but it's still pretty tight. It's also faster to not take the red gem back. Can you fall somewhere and basically not die? I never really thought about that. But yeah, I didn't know that you could do that and get away with it. Oh, jeez. Rip. Dang, we're losing a little bit of steam here. I didn't realize I was going to fall off the boxes there. That was very strange. You can fall near the beginning of the gem path. I guess you do end up going like pretty well straight up anyway, don't you? That'll be something fun to try, for sure. The point of this game is to get past levels. It's a platformer, so basically you're trying to get from the beginning to the end of the level. And all gems requires me to get all boxes in every level as I do this as well. So basically I need to find and break all the boxes in the levels and try to get to the end, which has some pretty difficult platforming sections for sure. So it's definitely not an easy game. Road to Nowhere and Boulder Dash, these were probably both gold splits. I think I have all gold splits until the end. So this is going to be tough for sure. We can do this though. The one pro tip you really need, if you can only have one, is get good. Exactly. I probably will, Malls. I think this is definitely this might be the one that I end up submitting to the leaderboard. Acquire aptitude. I was gonna say, are you gonna keep going with the letters of the alphabet? And the answer is yes. Just spewing out random Crash Bandicoot tips that may or may not be pertinent to Crash Bandicoot. Indeed. These levels are really fun, Electrofiend. Like, especially when you get past the initial learning curve, these levels are a blast. Like, I really enjoy Road to Nowhere and the High Road in particular. And that little, like, aside part with the red gem is pretty awesome, too. They look adorable when they're not trying to kill you, but when they're trying to kill you, I don't know. You definitely want to make sure the boar is on your side. And I'm not really sure how loyal they are. It's possible that they have no loyalty. So it'll be exciting. It would be an exciting existence, but I don't know. I don't know if you can trust them. There we go. Can't think of one for D. Don't die. How about that one? It's pretty pertinent for platformers, if you ask me. There we go. This might actually be a gold split. This was a really clean, I think, Road to Nowhere, for that matter. Yeah, there you go. Fight gold splits with gold splits. That's how you do it. Demand divinity. Ah, okay. Yo, welcome back. See you later. I myself had a steak actually yesterday. I had steak and eggs for breakfast, and it was delicious. I hope your steak was really good too. Deliver dexterity. That's a good one, especially for video games. Will this be the first submitted all gems run? I don't know. Somebody else may have submitted it, Ragamag, and it's still it's just waiting for approval. But it's possible it could be the first one. Not entirely sure. Yeah, don't jump over it. You got to make sure you pick it up. Discover dexterity. That also works for sure. What's up, Rambo Marino? How are you doing? Develop deftness. Ah. That's one I was not expecting to hear. Oops. Demonstrate dexterity. Assuming you already have it, which you probably do if you play video games to some degree. That makes sense though, see you later. You definitely don't always need the you don't always need the full 3-course meal for sure. As long as it was a good steak, that's for sure. Like for me, the steak was kind of small yesterday, but you don't really need a big steak for breakfast. You know, you definitely don't need like a huge like strip steak or porterhouse or something, you know, for breakfast. It's just a little too much. All right, let's do this. And the game lags. This is the one point I think where the game lags the most, is just right there trying to load all this stuff. That's about it though. The game otherwise is like really stable. There we go. Pick up the gem. And we're moving on. Deceive Dingo Dial? Yeah. There you go. There's a nice anti-answer. Making me think of Dragon's Dogma. I was gonna say all these DDs are making me think of Dunkin' Donuts. You guys know how much I love that. Yeah, small meals definitely helps, and like especially when you're it might help your metabolism too, for that matter. All right, Stormy Ascent. Here it actually went pretty well. Actually had a pretty good Stormy Ascent. A couple hiccups, but definitely still some time to save. But I had a pretty solid Stormy Ascent. So we'll have to see how this goes. Oh, I wasn't quite fast enough for that. I don't know if you can make it, actually. Gotta think about that for a second. I'm not actually sure how easily you can make that. Oh, hello. That was interesting. All right, let's wait. Getting flashbacks of the Stormy Ascent time trial? Dude, I know. It's so nice when you have checkpoints, though. Like, it really is. What's up, Celethia? Who eats breakfast anyway? Dude, it's the most important meal of the day. At least it is for me. I understand that definitely not everybody eats breakfast. But for me, it is very important. I do not function without eating breakfast of some sort. Whoa, okay, that was a bit a bit clenchy, to say the least. As was that. We got to be careful. Really needs to be a clear rule on using the teleporter. I think you can use the teleporter because DLC is included. For categories where DLC is not included, you're not allowed to use the teleporter. But because this category has DLC in it, I don't think it's disallowed. Isn't Stormy Ascent a variant of Slippery Climb? You are correct. See you later. It's the same environment. This was going to be the boss level in Crash 1, and then they decided that it was too much. You drink water for breakfast? Well, that's good. Drinking water is always a good thing. I definitely do drink a fair amount of water throughout the day. Do need some coffee first, though. I'm definitely a coffee guy. Oh, hello. I just decided to run through there really fast and see what happened, and it actually worked out really well. I might want to do that more often. Just don't get hesitant. Just fucking blow through that part. That might be the way to go. It's that boy. What's going on, Koskatron? How you doing? Don't get on Twitch very often during the weekends. No, I understand. Definitely, definitely on weekend days, people do a lot of different things, so I totally understand. Yeah, definitely, like, when it comes to coffee, like, I have my cup of coffee in the morning, and then, like, it's pretty much water throughout the rest of the day. Sometimes I'll have an occasional sugary drink, like if I go out to eat or something, but aside from that, usually not. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, good luck. You're gonna need it. Great tip. Yeah, definitely. That definitely does happen, Con. That's why, like, usually when streaming, I tend to drink it a little bit more slowly. Do 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 do. Nice. There we go. Yo, Clarky, what's happening? And thank you guys for the GGs on the bonus, by the way. Yeah, like Stormy Ascent, like there was definitely some parts that I found harder than others as well on Demon Killer. You know, both in the time trial and with my first clear. Wow! Wow, no! I thought I could get away with it. Oh, dude. We almost had a deathless Stormy Ascent. That would have been sick. Okay, so you can't just run out there because you will get sniped. We almost had a deathless Stormy Ascent. That would have been sick. But that's alright. This is still better off than how we've done in previous Stormy Ascent attempts. But yeah, I think I just jumped a little bit too early on that platform. Like, you gotta jump late on the first platform and early on the second. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah, there you go. It always feels so good to get to the end of Stormy Ascent. Like, this is a level that you're always just happy to finish. Dude, I gotta get with the times, see you later. Like, if I'm playing a 90s game, like, I gotta get with the times. And make it all work out. Alright, guys. The hardest level in the game. Can't throw it now. Can't throw it now. Got to be careful. So that gold split can get even better too, because that was deathless, I'm sorry, that was not deathless, but it was close. If Kane has not beaten his 207, then potentially. But I don't know. He might have. He might have like a 201 or something. We'll have to see what happens. Do 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 do. Okay. Yeah. 204.10. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet right there. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting to PB by this much today. This has been pretty insane. Not gonna lie. Yo, thank you guys all for the GGs, by the way. I do appreciate it.